Remember when you used to wake up before your alarm went off? Stretching, alert, clear-headed, ready to take on the day like a freight train? Now think about this morning. Did you wake up groggy? Maybe with that familiar ache in your back, knees, or shoulders? Did it take you 3 cups of coffee just to feel halfway normal? If so, I want you to know this. It's not just aging. It's not your fault. And it's not irreversible. You see, there's a reason why so many men over 65 feel like they're running on empty. It's not because they're weak. It's because no one ever taught us the real biology behind masculine energy and how we're unintentionally sabotaging it every single day. Here's the shocking truth. After age 30, men lose about 1% of their testosterone per year. But after 60, that drop accelerates like a downhill roller coaster. Mix in poor circulation, chronic inflammation, low nitric oxide, and oxidative stress, and suddenly you're not just tired, you're disconnected from who you used to be. You look in the mirror and barely recognize the guy staring back. But what if I told you the answer isn't in a pill, an injection, or another overpriced supplement? It's in your fridge. Actually, it's probably in your produce drawer right now. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 8 fruits that aren't just tasty, they're scientifically proven to reverse the biological markers of masculine decline. I'm talking about increasing testosterone, boosting blood flow, igniting energy, and lifting that heavy mental fog that's been hanging over your mornings for years. These aren't gimmicks. They're backed by peer-reviewed studies from places like Harvard, Queen Margaret University, and leading journals in aging and nutrition. So before you assume this is just another feel-good health video, stick around, because you're about to find out that reclaiming your energy, your strength, and your edge is not only possible, it's probably a whole lot easier than you think. All right, before we dive into the exact fruits that can transform how you feel every morning, let me ask you something real quick. What's the one fruit you eat almost every day? Seriously, pause for a second and think about it. Is it a banana with your cereal? Maybe some berries in your oatmeal? An orange after lunch? Whatever it is, type it down in the comments. Not only will it help others discover easy fruit habits to try, but I also read every single comment. And who knows, your go-to might even show up later in the video. And hey, if you're already finding this helpful, go ahead and tap the like button. It tells YouTube this is content worth sharing with other men who need it. And if you care about your health, your longevity, and showing up strong for the people who depend on you, hit that subscribe button too, because we're just getting started. And what's coming next? Let's just say it might completely change how you look at your morning juice. Ready? Let's move into the first powerhouse fruit on the list, the king of masculine energy. Let me introduce you to the king of masculine fruits. No, it's not some fancy new superfood grown on a mountaintop. It's something you've probably walked past 100 times at the grocery store. Pomegranate. Now, I know what you're thinking. That red fruit? The one that's a pain to open and stains your fingers? Yep, that one. But here's what most men don't realize. This fruit is a powerhouse when it comes to restoring testosterone and energy. And I'm not talking about theory or hype. I'm talking about real science. At Queen Margaret University in Scotland, researchers took 60 healthy adults and had them drink pure pomegranate juice every day for just 2 weeks. That's it. No supplements, no intense workouts, no medication. Just juice. The results? The men in the study saw on average a 24% increase in testosterone levels. That's the kind of boost you'd expect from months of hard training or hormone replacement therapy. And it didn't stop there. Blood pressure dropped, mood improved, and many participants said they felt more motivated and energetic than they had in years. But what really caught my attention was a more recent clinical trial from 2025. This one focused specifically on men over 60 dealing with mild to moderate erectile dysfunction. For 12 weeks, they were given a concentrated pomegranate extract. And by the end of the study, the group showed significant improvements in sexual desire, function, and satisfaction. Their doctors were so surprised, some even asked what medication they were secretly taking. But here's the beautiful part. They weren't taking any, just pomegranate. So what's going on here? Well, pomegranates are loaded with two special compounds, punicalagins and ellagic acid. These aren't just antioxidants, they're like a cleanup crew for your body. They reduce inflammation and help clear out the oxidative stress that slows down testosterone production. Think of your hormone system like an old factory. Over time, dust and grime build up. Things slow down, parts break. Pomegranate steps in like a fresh maintenance team, getting everything humming again. And this isn't just about testosterone. These compounds also improve blood vessel health, leading to better circulation, sharper brain function, and more oxygen moving where it needs to go. Now, you might be wondering, how do I actually use this? Simple. 1 8-ounce glass of 100% pure pomegranate juice each day. Not a blend, not a cocktail. Pure juice. Or, if you prefer the whole fruit, eat about half to a full pomegranate daily. Here's a little pro tip I learned the hard way. Buy them when they're in season, de-seed them, and freeze the seeds in small bags. That way, you've got a stash ready to toss into yogurt, oatmeal, salads, or just eat frozen like little tart candy. And if you're on a budget, try pomegranate concentrate. Just a tablespoon in water gives you the same punch at a fraction of the cost. Now, why does this matter? Because every man gets to that point where he wonders, is this just what getting older feels like? Am I just supposed to slow down and accept it? And the answer is no. There are tools, natural, powerful tools sitting right in front of us that we've been trained to overlook. Pomegranate is one of them. And trust me, this is only the beginning. Because the next fruit we're going to talk about, it might look small, but according to a 28-year Harvard study, it holds the key to better blood flow, sharper brain function, and a stronger heart. Let's talk about blueberries and why they might be the most underrated fruit in your kitchen. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked at a handful of blueberries and thought, there's my heart medication, there's my performance enhancer, there's my brain fog cure? Probably never, right? But if the researchers at Harvard are right, and trust me, they usually are, you might want to start seeing blueberries a little differently. You see, over the course of 28 years, Harvard tracked the health of more than 25,000 men. And what they found was pretty eye-opening. The men who ate berries regularly, especially blueberries, had a significantly lower risk of erectile dysfunction and far better vascular health overall. But here's where it gets interesting. When they broke the data down by age, they discovered that men over 65 benefited the most. Yes, the group that's often told it's too late to fix anything was actually the one that improved the most just from eating a fruit most people overlook. So what's the magic inside this little blue gem? It's a compound called anthocyanin. That deep blue-purple color isn't just pretty, it's powerful. Anthocyanins act like natural plumbers for your cardiovascular system. They keep your blood vessels flexible, your arteries clean, and your circulation strong, without the side effects of medication. And better circulation isn't just good for your heart, it's good for your brain, your muscles, and yes, your performance in the bedroom too. One study even showed that men who ate a cup of blueberries daily for 12 weeks reported more energy, better focus, and even improved mood. Some described it as feeling like a fog had lifted, like they were waking up clearer, more alive. Now, here's a little tip from my own kitchen. I buy frozen blueberries in bulk. They're just as nutritious as fresh, sometimes even more since they're flash frozen at peak ripeness. And they're convenient. Toss them in oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or just snack on them straight from the bag. I like to think of them as nature's brain mints, small, cold, and shockingly effective. And if you ever get those afternoon sugar cravings, try reaching for a handful of blueberries instead of something processed. The natural sweetness satisfies the craving, while the fiber helps balance blood sugar. There's a quote I love by Wittgenstein. He said, "The human body is the best picture of the human soul." And when you think about it, taking care of your body, nourishing it with what it was designed to run on, isn't just self-care, it's self-respect. Blueberries aren't flashy. They're not marketed with bold claims or celebrity endorsements, but they work quietly, consistently, and powerfully. And they're just one part of the story. Because the next fruit on our list, it doesn't just improve blood flow, it activates the exact same mechanism that medications like Viagra target, without the cost, the side effects, or the awkward doctor visits. And chances are, you've already got it in your fridge. Let's talk about watermelon and why it might be the most misunderstood superfruit of them all.
All right, this next one might surprise you. When you think of watermelon, you probably think of summer picnics, juice running down your chin, or spitting seeds on the porch with your grandkids. But what if I told you that watermelon might just be the most underrated men's health food on Earth? Because under that bright red flesh and sweet flavor lies something incredible. Watermelon contains more L-citrulline than any other food. Now I know L-citrulline isn't a term you hear every day, but it's important. Here's why. Your body takes L-citrulline and converts it into L-arginine and then into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide? That's the exact same biochemical pathway that prescription ED medications like Viagra use. But here's the kicker. Watermelon works with your body, not against it. No side effects, no prescriptions, no awkward trips to the pharmacy. Let me share something with you. There was a study out of Italy where researchers gave men with mild erectile dysfunction just 1.5 grams of L-citrulline daily for 1 month. That's about what you'd get from 1 to 2 cups of watermelon. The result? Half the men improved so much they no longer qualified as having ED. And the only side effects they reported were better workouts, improved mood, and more energy. Now, here's the part most people miss. The white rind, the part we usually throw away, it's actually the richest source of L-citrulline in the entire fruit. That's right, the part we consider garbage is the most therapeutic. You can slice it, blend it into smoothies, or even pickle it like cucumber. I like to take chunks of the white rind, toss it into a blender with some mint and lemon, and pour it over ice for a refreshing man tonic. Tastes great, hydrates, and supports your blood flow naturally. And it's not just about bedroom performance either. Nitric oxide plays a huge role in your heart health, blood pressure, exercise endurance, and even muscle recovery. Some men report that when they start eating watermelon daily, they feel lighter, faster, and more motivated to move, like the body just wants to get going again. It's funny, isn't it? We'll spend hundreds on pills and powders, and meanwhile, the answer might have been hiding in a slice of watermelon all along. Here's the small lesson I take from this. Sometimes the solution isn't expensive, complicated, or high-tech. It's simple. It's natural. It's been there the whole time. We just stopped paying attention. So next time you slice up a watermelon, remember, you're not just enjoying a fruit, you're fueling a system inside you that wants to come alive again. And speaking of systems that need fuel, let's talk about a group of fruits most people eat for vitamin C, but they're secretly one of the most powerful allies for your hormones, circulation, and energy. Let's move into citrus fruits and discover why oranges, lemons, and grapefruits are doing way more than you ever gave them credit for. Let's take a step back for a moment. Because when I say the word citrus, what pops into your mind? Probably something like orange juice at breakfast, a slice of lemon in your water, or maybe that grapefruit your doctor told you to eat more of. What you probably didn't think of was testosterone.
But here's the thing most men don't know. Citrus fruits are more than just immune system boosters. They're actually loaded with natural compounds that directly support male hormone production, blood flow, and energy levels. I'm talking about powerful flavonoids like hesperidin, naringin, and quercetin. And no, those aren't made-up names. They're real bioactive substances found in oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes. And they have a pretty amazing effect on the male body. Let me paint the picture. Researchers at Harvard followed thousands of men over several years and found that those who consumed citrus fruits regularly had a 19% lower risk of erectile dysfunction. But it wasn't just about performance. The men also had better cardiovascular health, more stable daily energy, and even improved mood scores. Now, let's talk testosterone. Here's something most guys don't hear from their doctor. Vitamin C, yes, simple vitamin C, is essential for hormone production. Your adrenal glands and testes literally need it to function properly. Studies show that men with higher vitamin C levels tend to have higher testosterone and better sperm quality. And when you pair that vitamin C with the flavonoids I just mentioned, you're looking at a serious natural support system for your entire hormonal network. I'll give you an example from one study. Men over 60 were asked to increase their citrus intake to 2 to 3 servings per day. After just 8 weeks, their arterial flexibility improved and their blood vessels were behaving like those of men 10 years younger. That's not magic. That's nutrition working the way it's supposed to. Now here's how to use citrus fruit the smart way. Whenever possible, eat the whole fruit, not just the juice. Why? Because the fiber in the pulp helps slow down sugar absorption, supports digestion, and delivers a more balanced release of nutrients. Want to make it part of your day? Have an orange with breakfast. Squeeze lemon into your water throughout the afternoon. Snack on a grapefruit in the evening. Just be cautious if you're taking medications, because grapefruit can interfere with how your liver processes certain drugs. If that's a concern, stick to oranges and lemons instead. Here's the small reminder I take from this. We often overlook what's familiar. We chase the next big thing, the latest supplement, the new pill, when the answers are sitting right there in the fruit basket. Citrus fruits are like that loyal friend, simple, consistent, and way more helpful than we give them credit for. And speaking of underrated allies, there's a dynamic duo coming up that most men never think of in the same sentence. A fatty fruit that helps you make hormones, and a sweet grape that activates the genes that slow aging. Let's talk about avocados and red grapes, and why this unlikely pair could be your secret weapon for staying strong, sharp, and energized well into your golden years. Now let's talk about a surprising pair. One is creamy, rich, and often confused for a vegetable. The other is sweet, juicy, and usually seen at the end of a dinner plate or in a wine glass. Avocados and red grapes. You probably wouldn't think of them as a power couple for men's health, but together they support two of the most critical systems for aging men: hormone production and cellular energy. Let's start with avocados. Yes, they're technically a fruit, and yes, they're loaded with fat, but don't let that scare you. It's the good kind, monounsaturated fats, the same ones found in olive oil. Your body needs these fats to create hormones, especially testosterone. See, testosterone is actually made from cholesterol. That's right, your body uses fat to produce one of the most vital hormones for male strength, confidence, and performance. And when men go too low fat in their diet, especially as they age, testosterone levels often tank. Avocados help fix that. They give your body the raw materials to keep hormone production strong. They also contain a mineral called boron, which has been shown in studies to increase free testosterone by up to 25%. On top of that, boron supports bone strength, which becomes more important with every passing birthday. In one study, men who added just half an avocado per day to their meals reported more consistent energy, better mood, and even improved sleep quality. Simple, right? No pills, no powders, just a fruit you can slice open with a spoon. Now let's shift to the second half of the duo, red grapes. These little guys are packed with a compound called resveratrol, one of the most studied anti-aging nutrients out there. Resveratrol activates what scientists call longevity genes, cellular pathways that help your body resist aging and inflammation. Think of it as flipping the stay young switch inside your cells. And for men over 65, this translates to better circulation, more stable energy, and protection for your heart, your brain, and yes, even your testosterone. One study tracked men who ate red grapes daily for 12 weeks. By the end of the trial, they showed lower blood pressure, more flexible arteries, and reported feeling more energetic during everyday tasks. Here's an extra benefit. Resveratrol supports mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells. As we age, these little engines start to sputter, but resveratrol helps keep them running smoothly, which means better energy, clearer thinking, and stronger recovery after physical activity. Now, how do you get the most from these two? With avocados, aim for half to one per day. Spread it on toast, dice it into salads, or blend it into smoothies for creaminess without dairy. For red grapes, try 1 cup per day with the skins on, because that's where most of the resveratrol lives. And if you enjoy a glass of red wine now and then, a small 4 to 5 ounce pour can offer benefits too. Just don't overdo it, because alcohol can undo the progress if it becomes excessive. Here's the little life lesson these two fruits remind me of. Health isn't always loud. It doesn't always come in flashy labels or extreme changes. Sometimes the biggest transformations come from the quiet, consistent choices, like a slice of avocado in your salad or a handful of red grapes in the afternoon. And while those changes may feel small at first, they stack up day after day into something powerful. Now, speaking of powerful, the next fruit we're about to explore is one you've probably eaten since childhood, but what you didn't know is that it fuels your brain, your mood, your muscles, and even your heart all in one bite. Let's talk about bananas and berries and how they protect your energy and mind better than most supplements ever could.
Let's talk about two of the most familiar fruits in your kitchen. They're not exotic, they don't come with flashy packaging, but together they can sharpen your mind, support your heart, and keep your energy going from sunrise to sunset. I'm talking about berries and bananas. Let's start with berries. Whether it's strawberries, raspberries, or blackberries, these colorful little fruits are nature's fire extinguishers. Why? Because they contain some of the highest concentrations of antioxidants of any foods on Earth. And that's crucial, especially as we get older, because our biggest hidden enemy is something called chronic inflammation. It's quiet, it doesn't always hurt, but it's constantly chipping away at your blood vessels, your brain, your muscles, even your hormones. Researchers actually have a name for it now: inflammaging. It's the slow-burning process that makes some men look and feel 80 when they're only 65, and others stay sharp, lean, and energetic well into their 70s and 80s. Berries help put out that fire. For example, strawberries are rich in vitamin C and a compound called fisetin, which research suggests may extend healthy lifespan and protect brain function. Blackberries? They're packed with anthocyanins, those same powerful compounds we talked about earlier in blueberries. And raspberries? They bring something special to the table: ellagic acid, which supports testosterone, fights inflammation, and may even have anti-cancer properties. In one 12-week study, older men who ate a mix of berries saw measurable improvements in cognitive function, arterial health, and even muscle retention. And many reported simply feeling sharper. So here's what I do. I buy a variety of frozen berries. They're affordable, always in season, and just as nutritious as fresh. Then I rotate them throughout the week. Monday might be strawberries, Wednesday blackberries, Friday raspberries. You get a wide spectrum of benefits, and they taste incredible blended into smoothies, tossed in oatmeal, or even as a refreshing dessert at night. Now let's pair those berries with one of the most misunderstood superfoods on the planet, the humble banana. People love to argue about bananas. Too much sugar, too many carbs, but here's the truth. A ripe banana is one of the best pre-workout or midday energy foods you can eat. They're rich in potassium, which supports heart health, blood pressure regulation, and muscle function, especially if you're active or dealing with cramps. They're also a great source of vitamin B6, a nutrient that's key for producing neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which means they support mood, motivation, and mental clarity. In one small study, men who ate a banana before working out had better endurance, less muscle fatigue, and faster recovery compared to those who didn't. And the best part? Bananas contain a natural trio of sugars, glucose, fructose, and sucrose, combined with fiber, which gives you quick energy without the crash. Here's my tip. Go for bananas that are ripe with brown spots. That's when the antioxidants are highest and the sugars are most bioavailable, but still balanced by fiber. And if you want a complete energy snack, pair a banana with a handful of almonds or peanut butter. It's like a portable, no-fuss fuel station for your brain and body. Here's the bigger lesson these two fruits teach us. You don't have to chase extreme diets or complex meal plans to feel alive again. Sometimes it's as simple as reaching for what's already in your kitchen, just using it consistently with intention. So whether it's a handful of berries in the morning or a banana before your afternoon walk, these small habits add up to sharper thinking, stronger movement, and better mood. And now that we've covered energy, clarity, blood flow, and hormone support, there's just one final piece to put this all together. Let's bring it home with a simple daily routine, one that shows you exactly how to combine all these fruits into a powerful, easy-to-follow plan for vitality. No stress, no guesswork. Let's build your anti-aging fruit schedule starting next.
All right, we've covered a lot. You've learned how 8 humble fruits, some of which you've probably eaten your whole life, can support testosterone, restore circulation, sharpen your mind, and bring your energy back online. But let me guess, you might be thinking, this is great, but how do I actually use all of this? How do I fit it into a normal day without spending hours prepping fruit or turning my kitchen into a smoothie bar? Don't worry, I've got you covered. What I'm about to give you is a simple 5-minute daily routine. No fluff, no guesswork, just a rhythm that flows with your day, supports your body, and helps reverse that slow slide into decline that so many men think is just part of aging. Let's walk through it step by step. Morning, mental clarity and blood flow. Start your day with 1 cup of mixed berries. Toss them into your oatmeal or yogurt or blend them into a quick smoothie. This gives you that antioxidant firepower, supports circulation, and helps clear out the mental fog before it even begins. Then, alongside your breakfast, have 1 citrus fruit, an orange, a grapefruit if you're on meds, or even lemon in warm water. This fuels hormone production, supports immune function, and stabilizes your energy early in the day. At lunch, hormone support and nutrient absorption. Around lunchtime, slice up half an avocado and add it to your salad, wrap, or even eat it with a spoon and a sprinkle of salt. Not only does it taste amazing, but it gives your body the fats and boron it needs to keep testosterone levels in check and helps absorb vitamins like A, D, E, and K from the rest of your meal. Watermelon for the afternoon, for a circulation boost and pre-workout energy. A few hours later, when your energy starts dipping, go for 1 to 2 cups of watermelon. Eat it fresh or toss the rind into a blender with mint and ice for a refreshing drink. This ramps up nitric oxide, improves blood flow, and gives you a natural energy lift, perfect before an afternoon walk or light workout. And if you're on the go, grab a ripe banana. The potassium supports your heart, the B6 helps your mood, and it's nature's cleanest, easiest fuel source. Pair it with some nuts, and you've got balanced energy that lasts. And for the evening, testosterone and longevity. As your day winds down, pour yourself 8 ounces of 100% pomegranate juice, or eat a handful of the fresh seeds. This helps with testosterone recovery, circulation, and even sleep quality. And for a little bonus, finish with 1 cup of red grapes, skins on. Packed with resveratrol, they support your heart, mitochondria, and help your cells resist aging. Now here's the thing. You don't have to be perfect. This isn't about rigid rules or making your life more complicated. It's about building momentum, one simple habit at a time. And once these fruits become part of your rhythm, something powerful starts to happen. You wake up feeling more alive. You move through your day with steadier energy. You notice your thinking is clearer, your confidence is back, and your body starts working with you instead of against you. And if there's one lesson I hope you take from all of this, it's this. Your vitality is not gone. It's just been waiting for the right fuel, the right rhythm, and the right mindset to bring it back. So, whether you start with just 1 fruit tomorrow or go all in with the full plan, you're making a choice to support your body, honor your years, and show up strong for the life ahead of you. Now, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and tap the like button. It really does help this message reach more men who need it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We've got more powerful science-backed strategies coming your way. And most of all, share this with someone you care about. Because sometimes 1 fruit, 1 habit, 1 conversation is all it takes to change a man's life. See you in the next one.